New information on a shooting in Alton. Police say the victim is a 13-year-old girl. Police say she remains in critical condition tonight. Officers spent several hours collecting evidence at the scene. They have not released any information about any suspects, but are asking anyone with any information on this shooting to call police.
The two say they'll remember Renaya for her spark. That's something that can never be dimmed.
Her smile. Even though she might be mad sometimes, she still finds a way to smile.
Renaya was a girl who spoke with so much excitement in her eyes, and I just hope that where she's at now is everything and more than here.
Thirteen-year-old Renaya Steward was a happy and outgoing young girl who, like most teens, loved to dance, keeping up with the latest TikTok trends, and hanging out with friends. As she often did, she visited a relative's home to spend time with friends and family. Never could anyone have imagined that a tragic and senseless chain of events would soon take place. Around 3 p.m. on February 3rd, Alton police responded to a Southern Illinois home near the intersection of Highland Avenue and Silver Street for reports of a shooting. Upon arrival, they would locate a critically injured young girl on the front porch of the home.
A 13-year-old girl was shot while standing on a porch Saturday afternoon, according to police. It happened at a home on the intersection of Highland Avenue and Silver Street.
My heart just broke, and my wife and I, we were praying for the family.
Five on Your Side asked police if the teen was the intended target or if she was shot during a drive-by shooting, but police wouldn't confirm those details, citing the ongoing investigation.
It's an opportunity for us to pause and think, what can we all do to prevent this type of violence?
Organizations like YWCA Southwestern Illinois and Allen have youth violence prevention programs to empower.
In our small way, we're trying to move the needle in this community.
The organization even received a grant from the state to tackle this problem.
A tremendous amount of hurt I've even heard in some of the focus groups and forums, and this only just emphasized the need for something like this.
Alton Mayor David Goins said they're committed to create change.
The one thing that stuck out with me when we talked with the kids, the youth at the high school, the one big thing kept on coming up was about violence.
Just last year, Alton partnered with UNICEF to become a child-friendly city. It's a city he's proud of and eager to improve.
The violence prevention is going to be a huge component in this initiative.
The victim was identified as 13-year-old Renaya Steward, who was taken to a local hospital in critical condition after suffering a gunshot wound to the head. According to police, Renaya was standing on the front porch of her relative's home when she was struck by gunfire. The community was left outraged and hurt after news of the shooting began to spread. In unison, the community came together at the scene of the shooting to support Renaya's family, including her heartbroken father, and for a prayer vigil, hoping for change and recovery.
From the very beginning, you could feel the pain.
The senseless act of violence has brought us all together to unify us.
And the outrage so many in Alton are feeling after hearing what happened to 13-year-old Renaya Steward.
And it's time for mothers to stand up and fight for our children.
Thinking about my daughter laying in a hospital bed.
Rodney Steward's innocent daughter has been in critical condition ever since.
So hurt, I don't know if to turn this into anger. I really can't let it go.
Renaya is the oldest of two and a 7th grader at Mark Twain Elementary School. On this night, more than 200 people returned to the shooting scene to share fond memories of the sweet girl they all love.
Hopefully she makes it.
12-year-old Gunnar Morgan calls Renaya a great friend.
She's nice, kind, she could be funny.
Her two teachers praised their caring student who's a big TikTok fan.
It's just a joy to see her in that light, and that's how we're going to keep it in that light.
In addition to praying for Renaya's recovery, speaker after speaker pleaded for peace in this community and an end to the gun violence. And there were also plenty of hugs for Renaya's sobbing grandmother as this caring crowd held their cell phones high for the girl they're holding in their hearts.
She's going to fight. You're not going to give up on her.
A little over a week after the shooting, Alton Police Chief Jared Ford and Madison County State's Attorney Tom Hain sadly announced that Renaya passed away. ultimately succumbing to a gunshot wound. In a joint statement, he said, "I am deeply saddened by the passing of Renaya Steward. Our community is heartbroken. Our prayers are with the family and loved ones of Renaya at this difficult time, and our hearts are heavy as we mourn the tragic loss of this vibrant young girl." According to court documents, the shooting was directed at a rival group. Following Renaya Steward's death, charges were upgraded against 3 suspects, ages 19 to 24, and 2 additional males were also charged in connection with the shooting. All of the suspects are being held in the Madison County Jail. Alvin Perry and Rayshawn Colvin, both 19, are facing numerous charges, including first-degree murder, aggravated battery with a firearm, and unlawful possession of a weapon by a felon. Keith Saunders, 24, was charged with 1 count each of first-degree murder, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and aggravated battery with a firearm. The charges against Perry and Colvin allege that they were present at the scene of the shooting and possibly discharged a gun in the direction of Renaya. Police said Saunders encouraged the minors to become delinquent by telling Perry and Colvin that a person was at a particular location, knowing the information would cause them to act violently. 2 additional teenagers, Vito Crowder and Dakota Perry, both 16, were each charged with 1 count of first-degree murder and aggravated unlawful use of weapons. Both are being charged.
Being a wife, she had so many things to learn.
Peaceful Miller is just 2 years older than her 13-year-old cousin, Renaya Steward. The two were close, constantly dancing and taking pictures.
She's very fun to talk to. She's very goofy.
She can't believe her cousin, so full of life, is now gone.
Y'all literally murdered a 13-year-old. Somebody who ain't do nothing to y'all. Somebody who was just doing a dance, talking to somebody on the phone. And she didn't even know it was coming.
Miller said Renaya was on the porch when a bullet hit her in the head. Now 5 people are charged with first-degree murder. The All-In community came together to use the power of prayer. Renaya was in the hospital on life support, and more than a week later, she died.
She touched my heart. We were close.
Former teacher assistant Alexandra Kodros knew the 7th grader well.
She was definitely free-spirited, beautiful, very intelligent.
She believes the crime should create change.
I hope that as a community that we can take our pain and turn it into action here and really try to hit hard on gun violence.
A GoFundMe has been created by the founder of Sacred Spaces of Care in order to raise money for Renaya's unexpected funeral expenses. The case remains ongoing.